Nearly 3 years ago, using the world's crappiest microphone and a lot of Google image searches, I threw together a little filler video showing how I stored and organized my pistol ammo. That video surprised me by quickly becoming my most viewed upload by far, and even today, only my 870 takedown video has been more successful. Judging by its view count and the number of subscriptions it's prompted, it's apparent that this is a topic folks would like to see more of. So, since my other videos are currently held up by various things, and I have a new caliber to set up for, I thought now would be a good opportunity to spend some more time on the subject. This time, I'm looking to organize .38 Special and .357 Magnum ammunition for the Smith & Wesson Model 19 that I recently obtained in exchange for some handyman work for a friend. Getting this revolver has also prompted me to get into metallic reloading, as rimmed, straight-walled revolver rounds, especially low-pressure cartridges like the .38 Special, are very easy and forgiving to reload. A great place to get good at the basics before moving on to more finicky and higher pressure auto pistol and rifle rounds. As before, I'll be using a 50 cal ammo can with spray painted labels for identifying the contents. Magnets or stickers can be purchased or made for this purpose, and might be better if you want to have more information on the side of your can, but I only need a few characters, and paint is cheap, easy, and durable. A .357 Magnum revolver can chamber and fire several different cartridges, so I'm simply labeling this can with .357R, designating the nominal bullet diameter of these rounds and the rimmed case design. Also as before, I'm using MTM Case-Gard P100 ammo boxes to keep the cartridges organized inside the can. P100-38s in this case. These boxes are designed mainly for the popular .38 Special and .357 Magnum, as well as other rimmed cartridges in that family, although .357 maximum rounds are generally going to be longer than these boxes' 1.68-inch max length. MTM also prescribes these boxes for long .38 or 9mm autoloading rounds like the .38 Super and the 9x23 Winchester, as well as some longer rimmed .32s. Rimmed .38s have to be loaded bullet down in order to fit in these boxes, so I can't easily look at the bullets to differentiate loads as I like to, but that's not a huge deal. Besides, rim up makes them easy to grab and drop directly into a revolver cylinder, so it works out. These boxes are inexpensive, well made, easy to use, and are the best way I've found to organize and keep track of many different loads. They're also convenient if I don't want or need to bring the entire can's worth of ammo somewhere. Factory packaging is flimsy, opaque, and inconsistent, and often not even there, since I handload most of my revolver ammo these days. Now, as I went into in the last video, the P109 boxes are great in 50 cal ammo cans, nicely fitting inside in 2 stacks of 4, with space on top for typical 9mm magazines and or pistols, and more space between or beside for a 9th box or more items. The P138s are slightly wider than the 9mm version, and they're much thicker to accommodate the longer revolver cartridges. As a result, there's only enough vertical space in a 50 cal can for 2 stacks of 3 of these. And you can't slide one more in alongside them either. As for the space left on top, you could fit speed loaders, desiccant packs, and other items up there. But revolvers are more of a crapshoot, since their cylinders make them thicker than semi-autos in general. If your revolver is over about 1.5 inches at its thickest, it's probably not happening unless you leave some boxes out. Alternatively, you can stand 5 P138 boxes on edge long ways, and 2 more flat above or below for 7 boxes. In addition to the extra 100 rounds, this leaves one whole top-to-bottom piece of the can free for other items. And you can fit 8 P138 boxes into a 50 cal can with 2 sideways rows of 3, and 2 more flat above or below. That's 800 rounds, a pretty good quantity. It's a bit more of a pain to get to since those rows of 3 have to be dropped in and pulled out altogether, but it's not too bad. So, arranging the boxes is pretty straightforward with your standard revolver ammo. However, things can be different with .38 Special loads that use wad cutters. Wad cutters are cylindrical bullets designed to punch very clean holes in paper and are popular for target shooting with revolvers. They're usually seated very deep into the case for a number of reasons that I may get into in a future reloading series. But with the bullets seated so far into the case, the loaded rounds are short enough that I can use MTM's 9mm boxes to store them instead of the thicker .38 version. Modern .38 short Colt cartridges with non-heeled bullets can be used in any revolver that can handle .38 Specials, and these should also be short enough to fit the 9mm boxes. 38 special wad cutters are very economical and quite pleasant to shoot since their low muzzle velocities make for minimal recoil, so I load them by the hundreds, and they usually account for much of the revolver ammo I have on hand. Now, if you're storing nothing but wad cutters and or shorts, you can simply use 9mm arrangements. The best one I found is a 2 stacks of 4 plus 1 on end arrangement I showed in my first video. Straightforward, easy to get at, and not too heavy even when all the boxes are full, at least for me. You can do more if you really want to though. If stacked up and dropped in all together, I found that 4 P109 boxes will just slip sideways into a 50 cal can. This lets you get 10 boxes with 2 sideways stacks of 4 and 2 more on top. Or, if you make sure the 2 stacks have all the latches and hinges aligned vertically, you can slide an 11th box in on edge. Odds are, though, you'll probably have something besides just wad cutters and special short loads if you own a firearm chambered in .38 Special or .357 Magnum. Obviously, P109 boxes can be substituted into any of the previous P138 arrangements, but the thinner 9mm boxes also allow for completely different arrangements that make more efficient use of the can's space, or allow more total rounds to fit in there. If at least one is a P109, you can fit 6 boxes on edge longways in a 50 cal can, with 2 more of either box flat above or below. This is still a maximum of 8 boxes, but with this setup, you can pull one box out without dragging 2 others along with it. 900 rounds is possible if at least 4 of the boxes are 9mm, since you can slip those 4 in as a sideways stack, and then place 3 .38s beside them and 2 more above or below. To fit a combined total of 10 boxes, only 2 of them can be .38s. The other 8 have to be 9mm in 2 sideways stacks. So, to summarize, a 50 cal can fit up to 8 P138 boxes if you stack them in there just right. For 9 boxes, up to 5 can be .38s, the rest have to be 9mm. And for 10 boxes to reasonably fit, only 2 at the most can be .38s. If you're willing to really force them in there, you can do 10 boxes with up to 4 of them being P138s, or 11 boxes with 2 .38s, but I wouldn't recommend these arrangements. While you can close the lid, the cases are pretty heavily compressed. The can bulges slightly at the bottom, and I'd be concerned about the boxes getting damaged if the can is dropped on a hard surface. In addition to that, the boxes are really packed in there. Some might lift out easily, but good luck getting at the others. About the best way I've found is to upend the can and literally dump them all out at once, but this gets harder if the boxes aren't full. It's honestly a major pain to have to dump out a can's entire contents, and then remember how it all fit back in afterward, just to get at 1 or 2 of the boxes. And that many rounds is going to start getting pretty heavy, on the order of 43 to 45 pounds with traditional 148 grain .38 Special wad cutters in the 9mm boxes, and heavier loads in any .38 boxes. 1100 rounds of 9mm Luger subsonics can add up to similar totals. You may not think that sounds too bad, but try it out sometime. Even for a fit adult male, that's lift with your legs territory, and not something you'd want to lift frequently or carry too far. And it's generally even less practical for women or younger or older individuals of either sex. Personally, I prefer to stick to 8 or fewer boxes of revolver ammo per can. I don't usually keep more than that on hand anyway, and as my loads tend to use a mix of mid and heavyweight bullets, more than 800 of them would begin to get too heavy for me to carry comfortably. However, if you're storing a lot of really heavyweight .357 Magnum loads, you may want to stick with 6 or 7 boxes per can instead. With these larger boxes, you'll also need to leave a few out if you want to include larger items like speed loaders, holsters, or guns. Now, if you are considering storing both guns and ammo in a can, do be aware that ammo cans are not really great as lockboxes. It's quite easy for someone determined to break into one of these and get at the contents. There are kits that will let you use a padlock to hold an ammo can's latch closed, but you can get around these by simply snipping the 2 wire pieces connecting the latch to the lid, or attacking the exposed hinge at the other end. You'll have to judge for yourself based on your own situation, but if unauthorized access is a concern for you, you should consider keeping a complete kit like this inside something else that's more secure, such as a gun safe or a locked closet. Personally, a metal ammo can wouldn't be my first choice for transporting firearms, especially my Smith, which is probably the nicest thing I own currently. I'd be less concerned about doing this with a more utilitarian piece, like my Glock, especially with some foam or a gun sock for added protection, but I still generally carry my handguns in their own cases, or on my person, when heading to the range. Still, there's no inherent problem with it. Guns can't load themselves, and if you're putting a plan together for the end of the world, having a complete kit like this in one reasonably sized package that's effectively impervious to the elements, it's an attractive idea. Just be sure to think it through for your specific environment, and take what safety and security measures you deem necessary. Well, if you liked the first ammo storage video, hopefully you'll enjoy this one too. I'll likely upload another showing what I do with my shotgun shells, and after that, maybe an FAQ video responding to some of the feedback I've gotten on my system. So don't be shy if you have questions or comments. Until next time, stay safe, and please don't pass up your hard-won right to vote.